3. Baseball trick shots. Wait.
Bonjour everyone, Pantoufleee here today for a new video in which we are going to try to answer quite a dumb question, but still interesting enough for me to do a video about it. What is the best tank to enrich at tier 10? As you all know, I've some problems with enriching tanks because, oh boy, did I just enriched literally everything I could. When I have some gold, here I spared some because the light 432 is coming soon in the game. But usually when I have some gold, I'm just using it to spend to enrich my tanks. For those of you out there that don't know what enriching is, it's basically making a tech trip tank a premium one. But don't worry, we're gonna come to that soon. So I asked myself, for the people out there that can't buy all those juicy premiums and collectible at tier 10, what's the best tank to enrich? At least enrich temporarily, because it's impossible for you to enrich permanently tanks from tier 1 to tier 4 and from tier 9 to tier 10. So if you do, you are willingly spending gold for something that will sooner or later come back to its original situation or original, how could I say that? Original credit coefficient, aka not premium. And I asked myself, what is the best tank to enrich if you really want to enrich one? Because as you can see, when you click on enriching, for example, the T124, you have a 61% credit enrichment. But yeah, it may differ depending on what tank you're playing with. For example, the T125 it's 69, the M48 Pathan it's 59, etc, etc. And after doing my research, because I have all the tier 10s, so I could literally just find out which one is the best, and the best one is the Sheridan with a new credit coefficient that will increase by 86%. It's quite a lot, and I don't really know what it will look like in battle. But before we jump into it, I would like to give you my personal opinion on the best tanks to enrich. I'm gonna do a top 5. So top 1 is obviously Sheridan because this is the one with the best credit coefficient. The second is the Hori with 75%, and another one that is great to enrich is the Batchat that features 79 as well. Finally, there is the T123 with 71, and the last one, if I'm not mistaken, no, it was not Russia. It was, yeah, the AV183, surprisingly, with 74%. But anyway, we are not going to bother with that. We're going to take our Sheridan, guys, and we're going to enrich it for 14 days. So now, as you can see, enrichment time left, it tells me how longer my tank is going to stay as a premium. Does it appear in my premium tanks right now? Yes, it does. Oh boy, I already regret that, but let's see how many credits that thing brings. So guys, right after enriching my Sheridan, I decided to go into a battle. Here we are in a traditional tier 10 match, and this is rare to see full tier 10 matches, but that's good, at least we'll have some challenge. And I decided to use specifically this replay simply because in terms of damage, we're close to an ace tanker. I think I did something like 6k damage, sorry for the spoil. But doing this in the post-result battle, you will be able to see how much credit I earned, and so you will know if it's worth it or not to enrich your tanks. I want to remind you, even before talking about the replay itself, that when it comes to enriching, I don't think it's worth it except if you enrich them permanently. Let me explain. If you enrich a tank temporarily, like I did with the Sheridan, at the end of the 14 days trial, your tank will come back to normal and it will not be premium anymore. So you spent your gold for literally nothing else than 14 days. Even if for some people it's worth it, for example, people that are earning a lot of money and that are willing to spend gold like that in the game, why not? I mean, we're not here to judge anyone's spendings. But for the player that can't allow himself to spend too much gold in this game, I don't think it's worth it going for that. You would rather go for real premiums and not even enriching. You just forget about enriching and you go straight to something called real premiums like T5042, Object 25 to use, etc, etc, because those tanks are much better when it comes to make credits than enriching tanks. But if you are willing to spend some, this video is made for you. So, the Sheridan, what about the Sheridan? Why did I decide to enrich the Sheridan beside the enriching factor that is 86%? This tank is lovely in my opinion thanks to its big derpy gun. I love playing with derpy tanks, and that's why I feel like even if I spent for the video 2.3k gold to enrich the Sheridan, in the end I'm not necessarily gonna regret it because I'll be I'll be glad to play my Sheridan as a premium tank for once, because usually when I'm playing off stream, I'm just playing to grind credits because my goal is to reach 1 billion credits. So yeah, I'm playing premiums all day long, and sometimes you can get bored about the premiums because usually you're playing most of the time the most broken one, Smasher, Annihilator, what else? Current of Action 10, Centurion 5-1, Chimera, etc, Project 46, and yeah, it's a breath of air to be able to get those really special, enriching factors to hope into the game and play a little bit more those tanks that are long forgotten in my garage. Because trust me, my Sheridan was taking a lot of dust, besides streams, of course. So, for the replay now, as you can see, I did not try to play too aggressively. I played aggressively at the beginning, but now that I only have 12 hit points left, I don't want to do any more mistakes. So what we're going to do is, we're going to wait in the back, and hopefully the Ice 4 is going to turn his attention to the object 140, allowing us to push. So we're waiting. We have the reload time that is quite long with Sheridan, because I'm using a calibrated shell, because I mean, when you have more than 13 seconds of reload with a light tank, you don't need you don't need to lower it down. You would rather be sure that your shell will penetrate. So there we go. We're trying a shot on the Ice 4, and ah, boy, I bounced, rip. But yeah, those things happen. So the 140 is going to try to take out the Ice 4 that is not necessarily taking a look at us. There we go. The Yak Panzer just shot and he's using adrenaline. That's how we know that he's not turning his attention to us. We go in, we stick our shot, and now I'm confident enough that my team is going to kill him. So I'm just going to take the pose with my sexy ass Sheridan. So now, let's go to what's interesting. What's really interesting about this video, the enriching factor. Is it gonna bring a lot of credits or not? I wanna remind you that I'm using a premium tank, and I'm not using any credit boosters. And I managed to pull out a 93,000 experience. I was about to say experience, but no, credits. 83,000 credits for 2.3k gold. So is it worth it? In my opinion, no. In my opinion, it's not worth it, because if maybe the tank was doing let's say 150,000, sorry, credits per game with a 6k one. I mean, it's a 6k one. That's not something that's gonna happen quite a lot. I would be like, damn, okay. Enriching is really expensive, but at least it's worth it. But here it just shows that no, it's not worth it. With the tank that has the best credit coefficient when enriched at tier 10, we only do these kind of credits. I'm not complaining. I mean, in 10 games like that, and you have 1 million credits. But goddamn, for something that is temporary, I was expecting something a little bit more interesting from Wargaming. But at least, hey, we have the answer. And yeah, for the 14 upcoming days, I think I'm gonna spam a little bit my Sheridan. Hopefully you enjoyed, guys. If that's the case, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. And if you have any more questions regarding enrichment, feel free to tell them in the comments, and I will try to do a video if the subject is interesting enough. See ya.